right, we're going to go over circular strikes. So circular strikes are going to consist of our hooks and our uppercuts, okay? So first things first, on our circular strikes, we're going to start with the lead hook. Okay, the lead hook here. When I'm throwing my lead hook, I want to make sure my opposite hand is up by my head, protecting myself as I'm throwing the strike. So I don't want to leave myself vulnerable on the other side. I also want to make sure I'm taking a step with my lead leg when I'm throwing this hook. So Coach Gabe's going to throw this hook here, just like that. Good. Good, one more time. Good. Now notice too, he keeps his shoulder, his elbow, and his wrist all on one plane. He doesn't throw the hook with the elbow dipped down because that will expose this side of his face. When he throws the hook, his elbow or his shoulder is going to be high enough to where it's going to add some protection to that side of his face. So go ahead and throw it again. Good. Also too, you notice how his palm is facing directly down to the ground. He's not turning it out here. You can turn it out here. The only issue I see with that sometimes is that will drop the elbow, and therefore it'll add exposure to that side of the face. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your palm facing down and your thumb facing towards your face. Okay? So one more time, go ahead, step. Good. All right. Also too, when you're throwing your hooks, you want to imagine that you're punching around a pole. So he's going to throw his hook right around that pole here, that imaginary pole. Make sure you stop the second you feel your bicep hit that pole, okay? So Coach Gabe's not going to punch all the way through that target, okay? He's going to hit the target and come back. If you do, what happens, go ahead, go all the way through. You tend to dip your arm down, and it's going to leave you exposed to a counter strike. So make sure that you do not go all the way through the target, hit the target, come right back to guard, okay? We're going to go on this side and do the rear now. So rear hook, he's going to step, rotate the hips and shoulders. Good. Make sure you rotate those hips and shoulders when you're throwing this strike. Good. One more. Good. All right, awesome. Now we're going to work the uppercuts, okay? We'll start with the rear, then we'll go to the lead. So rear uppercut. When I'm throwing a rear uppercut, I want to make sure that I'm bending my knees to not only generate the power, but to keep me protected. If Gabe just throws the uppercut without dipping slightly low, what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to open his body up to throw that uppercut. And see, when he does that, there's a lot of exposure here on that side, so it can lead to a counter strike. So what would be better would be to step, lower your level, and then fire the uppercut just like that. That way you take out the exposure that's going to happen when you're dropping your hand just a little bit, and it's going to save you from getting struck with a counter strike. So uppercut, you're going to step, lower your level, and then drive with your hip and shoulder, and you're rotating your fist so that the palm is facing your face as you're doing this strike here. Okay? So one more time. Up. Good. Good. All right, we'll go on the other side for the lead. Just like with all our strikes, we're stepping with that lead leg. Okay? He's lowering his level slightly and driving with the hips and shoulders. Good. One more. Awesome. All right. So that was our circular strikes for Muay Thai.